materials. And I will continue now. There is some more mathematical code which you can learn for working with algebraic expressions. So there are some commands which are given. We'll spend some time on this and go to the next topic. Okay.
Yes, sir.
The screen, I will just make it a little more bigger. Yes. Okay, so mathematical can work expressions as well as numeric input. You can factor, combine like terms and expand the expressions. Try the following, then try a few on your own. Okay, this is the first expression which we have, which is just given it as an input here now. And this is the actually algebraic expression. It can handle it for a different value. So x, you can see here is it 4x square. What happened to this? Minus 4x square. Okay, something wrong. So I'm supposed to get back the same thing. Yeah, it has done something because minus 3x, there is 11x is there. Okay, you follow? This is, if you do this one, you will getting an 8x. That's what it means. So some algebraic thing has been, common terms are there. You can plus 7 and minus 9 is there. Therefore, you're getting a minus 2, 8x. And then minus 4x square because there is a positive, and then negative minus 8 square, there was minus 4x square. And then 6 cube, which is already there. So this is what the simple algebraic form, which has been collected the terms, equivalent terms, and then given the result. Okay. I hope it's clear for all of that. This is 3x, and then there is 11x. So plus 11x, therefore 8x is the answer. Then there is a plus 7 and a minus 9, therefore minus 2. Then there is a 4x square and 8x minus 8x square, therefore minus 4x square, and the cube that has been given. Okay, now we can simplify, can also we already used several times. So this is the simplify in algebra, and we are subtracting these two and then writing this equation. That can be done. So it is simplified and it seems to be in the form of a 4 plus x whole square after expanding this. And confirm that these are all correct consistently, that you are getting it. Okay. Maybe if you do this as it is, take it. And there are two things that are grouped now. So this does this, and simplify does this one. Okay. This is automatic because the subtraction of the two equations which identical terms are there, it gives the results automatically. Subtraction has been done. For example, 16 is this because of this minus sign here. So 16, and there's an 8x. That's also fine because of the minus, it's 8x. And then you have a 7x square minus x square, therefore it's an x square. And this can be factored. That factoring is simplified by this simplify and getting this result. That is what the meaning of this simplification. Okay. Simplify means it's trying to bring it to a form where all possible simplification you try to do it. Now expand. So minus 2x square minus 3x plus 4 whole power 4 can be expanded. Okay. And this expanded one, suppose if I take an output here, and this is the expand result, and I have taken the output as an input here. And if I ask to simplify, I should get back what I have given in the expand. Whatever I have given, that I'm able to get it back by expand. After expand, I simplify this. Okay. You can do the factoring also. Factor this equation. Okay. Let's see what's happening to this equation. Factor it. So you can see this equation has, what is the meaning of this factor now? Suppose this becomes 0, x is equal to minus 7, and x is equal to half. Again, this goes to 0, and of course x is equal to 0 also, another possible solution. And all these informations are available. Let me try to show you by plot this function as a function of x goes to say somewhere 0 to, let me try 7, 8 up to 8 and not it and check what is happening to this equation plot x 2x. So we have a bracket here. Done. Well, what is happening? Two x cubed 13x minus 7x. Okay. Mm-hmm. 2x cubed. Goes up 5. Mark it up to 2. Yeah, there are 2 roots already. This is 0 and half is available. Correct? Right?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
It's available. 0 and half. Exactly available. One more root should be there now. X is equal to minus 7. Okay, in that case, x is equal to minus 7. In that case, I have to start from minus 8 to 1. So that I'll see the other row. Correct? See? Am I right?
Yes, sir.
So, you know what is the meaning of a factoring? So, what are the points the function goes to 0 that can be pulled out? So, it is happening at 7, minus 7, it goes to 0. Then x is equal to 0 and x is equal to half. These are the places that goes to 0 that has been expanded and it can be shown. It is here. There are the 2 roots here and this is another root. That is the meaning of the factor. Okay, it can have a sometimes become a complex means that can be shown, but still you can make a complex plots and then show the results. Okay, so now this is what we were factoring of this equation. It is 2x cubed and 13x squared minus 7x. So what we have done is that probably I can check, see what time it's shown now. I'll make it this way. What are the places it goes to 0? I'm looking for solve. Well, let's see what's happening. Right? So you see, factoring is one way to look at results. Solve it and plot it also and see that we are able to get all the information. Minus 7 x0 minus plus half. That information is available here. And this is also available here. That can be obtained by solving it or by plotting and also. Okay. It's clear for all of you. That has been shown. It's correct also. Apart, you can see 5x plus 2 divided by x squared 5x plus 4. You wanted to separate them. This is the LCM factor now, and then if you do the simplification, you will get this result. This is what part. I'm trying to separate. Is it possible to apart further again? Is it possible? No.
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 That's not possible. So we'll leave it at that point, okay? Or it's 6, no, that's not possible. Okay. Put them together. There are 2 expressions for this type. I want to put them together. Put it together like this. This is a combined one. And you take this again, if this is the equation which you have, you just make an apart. A, P, P, R, P, apart. Okay, that has been taken into 3 terms. And if you wanted to make these 2 together or some other independently also you can operate. For example, I wanted to, this automatically is become input. Okay, but bracketing is important. Now I have to put together. This can also be done. OGE. What happened? Probably my bracketing is not correct. Okay, you're able to see this two terms have been put together. That can also be possible. And this alone, I can expand it in the denominator alone. See, suppose I have a complicated expression I can do that by take a bracket. Okay. I put them together, or I can expand. Can expand the denominator, that portion alone. I want to check whether it is expanding that alone. Is that being expanded? 5x. You can see after expansion of this 1 plus x. So this, when you expand this is already there, and this is being expanded, and the expansion is multiplying this. Okay, and multiply and simplify, that is the result. So independently, proper bracketing, you can do numerator independently, denominator separately, or fractions or a portion of the equation, the denominator, portion of the equation, the numerator, all will be possible. Okay, so when you wanted to simplify these equations, the form, whatever you wanted to get it, this can be done by doing such things. Nothing will happen to your equation. The whole thing where we have started is, this is the equation which we have. This is what we have done, apart. No. Together is this equation. So I wanted to check, put the together. And this is what the equation which we have is available here. Okay. I hope it's clear. So you can do variety of ways algebra can be done depending on the nature of the equation. So put them together here, and we made an part, and then we could able to handle this alone, putting together. Then we expanded this again with the denominator one portion of it. Then put them together, all of them, with this implication what we have done. Again, we are getting back what is being observed here. Is here. Okay. You can see number of ways that can be handled. Only thing, make sure that you are doing consistently with the proper bracketing, and combination should be done. Combination should be done properly. Okay. So it's clear for you. When you have big equation, don't get frightened by that. So just group them properly. And if you want to look at the way you would like to do it, you can use all this kind of algebraic mathematical codes that are available that can be used. For example, we are seeing so many of them. Expand, simplify, factors, all, plot, apart, together. Expand, all also available when you have a bigger expression. So all this can be done. Now you can see this percentage. What is the percentage? You can see this is the equation, and this apart with this percentage implies that this output will be coming and sitting at the place of your percentage. Get the point? This will be an output here in the 20 that will go and sit here. You can see apart, that is being separated. Now if I enter it again, okay. Next, so which means when there is a percentage which is available, which implies that you have an output, that output will be taken. That is the latest output will be taken for a single percentage. Double percentage means 2 lines back output can be taken. So now you are going to do together now again percentage, which means this will be taken. We are going to make it together. This is what your input now, and which means we put together, this is the equation which I am expecting to get it. I'm able to get this. Okay, minus 5 plus 4x square minus, so this is expanded form. So now you can see this is what I have. This doesn't look like this. So what are I supposed to do? I'll put what are I supposed to do? Do that. Put a bracket here and say expand. This alone can expand. And if I look at this, they are only the same. You can see 2 minus 5x and 2x square. Okay. So this is also possible for us to use. Now expand percentage, the previous one. That's the expand all. See what is the difference. Of course, there's nothing to expand further, therefore it is given same result. Simplify goes back to the initial value, initial function what we have. Okay, so you can see that there are many commands that are available. You can do same thing with the trigonometry also. You can trigonometry also you can do expand. Let me try sine of 2 sine. Let me take sine 2 theta. Is it possible to do something on this? Trig expand. The trig expand. Just expand it now. Fine. Okay. Trig. If I take this one, trig reduce. To get back. Okay, sine of A plus B. Okay, expand. Doesn't work. So what do you have to do? Add a trig. Trig expand. Let's expand. You can have a list here now. Take it over here. Sine of A plus B, comma, sine of A minus B, comma. I'm going to have a list of expansion. Then sine cos of A plus B. Then you can have cos of A minus B. But the formulas which we are all familiar, and we can see that that can be done by one line. This is what the result is. So we have a see this is the sine of A plus B, sine of A minus B, then cos of A plus B with minus sign here, cos of A minus B with the plus sign here. Now, suppose if I put in this case, okay, let me take this with the bracketing here, copy and paste over here. If I make small change now, put A is replaced by, or B is replaced by H. This is A. Okay. This is 2 cos A sin A. This is 0. This is cos A square minus sin A square. This is cos A square plus sin A square. Cos square A, sin square A. So when I do that, so if I simplify this, this becomes 1. I have not simplified, but this cannot become 1. And this is what this we have. So if I simply add, simplify, that will be accepted for even. Okay. Sin 2A, 0, cos 2A, 1. So this is the result that you have now. And there are so much trig. Your IGs are available depending on where you said you can do. So trig is there, trig factor, trig 2 exponential also possible, trig expand, trig factor list, and trig radius. These are the things that are available in Mathematica as a course for handling the trigonometric algebra. Okay, algebra connected trigonometry can be handled through this trig factor, then trig expand. So you can see if I take this sin of A plus B, well, is it possible to write this in a trig So exp, is it possible? Will you try it? Exciting. Okay. This is right. Or you can take the simplest known case. I may be able to write sine of a in a trick to exponential. Now, suppose I have this in this form. Go back to this. Then reverse it. exp to prij. That's answer possible. Okay. So algebra is not only connected to this kind of variables s or any variables, and also with the sine cosine. You can have any combinations, any formula that you have come across, you can cross check it. Okay. Any of the trigonometric expression that you have seen that can be given here and simplify that and see that you have some understanding of the algebraic things. Trigonometric form also can be handled by this Mathematica. There are so many algebraic codes that are available, either for a simple algebraic expression or also for the trigonometric expressions. Right? Try that. Take out some books that you have, and you can make a table of sine theta, cos theta for theta varying from. This is very often you will be using a table. I have a sine theta, cos theta. I wanted to have starting from theta 0 to 2 pi in steps of, want to go by 5 by 2? Okay, 5 by 2. And put it in a table form. This is what the table you will get it. Okay. Suppose I wanted to make it 5 by 3 or 5 by 4 and having this. Okay. If you want, you can add the theta which is varying the 5 by 4. So all for the given theta 0, 1, this is 0, this is 1. 5 by 4 is this. Like this is 1. And then you can go to 5 by 3. Okay. So if you miss any day, if you have forgotten certain things on sine theta cos theta values or a specific values of the pi in terms of this, in terms of pi, then you can immediately just call the function and then ask for these numbers for these values of pi, so you will get it. So it's not a difficult thing at all. You take anywhere fractions, 5 by 6 is, yeah, you can pi here. Yeah. Okay. Goes up to 2 pi, because it goes up to 2 pi. So normally we forget things when you have a pi by 2 and pi by 4. So those things just can have it. Okay. So this is all very simple to generate through the table and put it in a table form. If you wanted to have a table form with all headings, everything, you can do it. But it's not necessary every time putting in a proper. But if you want to create them and wanted to use it at later stage, create in a table form, put the headings also, and keep it with you. And when you start the Mathematica connected to this data, open it and refer it. So immediately take the numbers and then use it wherever you want it to use. Like this, there are very important things that are required. You can always make a table and keep it with you for your other computational purpose. Okay. So this is what the things that are available with respect to these Mathematica codes that we have seen so many of them now. Okay, and not, you don't have to remember anything. Just remember the words that is being used. Put a question mark, call them, and refer it, and come back to your problem and give it in the form whatever is being defined there with the Mathematica. Use them and then get the results. Okay, nothing. You don't have to memorize. Only thing you have to know how to use it. That should be long. Mathematica code, how to use it. That should be long. Fine. Okay. We'll save this. Go back So the other problems which we probably I wanted to start little bit on numerical things, numerical methods, which we have already seen with respect to e power x, the previous class, some of them. Now we can. So this is actually the stuff which I have taken from the numerical method by Shastri. And you would appreciate now. You see, I am just taken the printed material also and mathematical solutions. Printed material problems, mathematical solutions, so that you know how many steps.
Sir, can you make it 150?
Yeah. I'm sorry, I keep on forgetting it. Yes. So Taylor series, errors in series of possible. There are other errors which we will see in the next class. There are so many other things, errors connected into it. Because there is a request that the error should be spent. We have to spend little time for errors, understanding the errors also. Now let's look at this equation. Taylor series, I assume that you are all familiar, and that familiarity can be seen by just looking at these equations. Okay, it can be seen, and refer the as I said, the textbook by Shastri, numerical methods for this. Okay, this problem as an example has been taken from there. Let me try to explain this in detailed way and then see how do we write the mathematical code. And once you understand that, you would appreciate that is something fantastic, and this is enough for getting your results. About 4 lines or 3 lines that can give you the results. And the beauty of this is that once you understand, I'll just change the function alone. Okay, and try to do for various problems, because it's going to be a repetition of a similar thing. Because Taylor series is being used for several functions, all the several functions that can be defined here, and you can analyze them in a detailed way. So we'll see how we are going to analyze this function. To evaluate f of 1, f of x is given using Taylor series for f of x, where f of x is this x cube minus 3x square plus 5x minus 10. It is easily seen that f of 1 equal to minus 7. If you substitute this x is equal to 1, I'll get minus. But it will be instructed to see how the Taylor series approximations of orders 0 to 3 improve the accuracy of f of 1 gradually. So you find you don't get this using a Taylor series for the orders 0 and 1 and 2. If you use the 0 and order 1 and order 2, there will be some errors. And when I reach 3 and above that, and I have no error at all in this function. So therefore, it gives direct explanation. In fact, that is what he has explained. This example demonstrates that if the given function is a polynomial of 3rd degree, then its 3rd order Taylor series approximation gives the exact result. That's what the message that he wants to give it by explaining this problem systematically following the Taylor series procedure. Okay, so now let's look at this problem now. What is given? F of 1 is minus 7. That should be obtained using a Taylor series. Okay, so now H is an important quantity in the Taylor series. So that's going to be x of I plus 1, which means the difference between x of I plus 1 minus xi is going to be your h. That's going to be 1 in this case. Okay, I think there will not be any issue for understanding this for this case. We then require f of xi plus 1. Okay, the next f of this we know, we need to have f plus 1. The derivatives of f of x are given. F prime of x is, take a derivative of this. F double prime is this one. F triple prime is equal to this. 4th one, and higher derivatives being all 0. Hence, this is what your result is now. F prime of xi is equal to f prime of 0, which is equal to 5. Double prime of x of I, which is equal to double prime at 0 equal to minus 6, which means take a derivative, substitute x equal to 0. Take a derivative, substitute x equal to xi equal to 0. That's what your initial value. And triple prime equal to 0 is this 6. Then also f of xi, which is equal to f of x0, which is equal to minus 10. And just substituting, taking the derivative, starting from f of 0, f prime of x of I which is 0, okay, f double prime xi which is equal to 0 minus x. These are the things that we have found. You know the series now. And this is what your series. Now we have to substitute. Already we have found this, found this, found this, found this. Okay, already numbers are available to substitute here. Of course, we know h squared by 2, h cubed by 6. These are the numbers that we have. Okay, so this h is equal to 1, therefore it's directly you will get this is 1 by 2, this is f double prime by 6. Now, from equation 1, the zero order approximation given by this is what your zero order, which means substitute f of xi where xi equal to 0, that is your zeroth order. Take the function as it is, substitute the initial value, that's going to be x of I which is going to 0, and this is your, what is this? This one. This is error. Order of error when you start with only one term. Suppose, therefore, f of 1 is equal to f of 0 plus oh, h is equal to minus 10. So, error in which is minus 7 plus 3. 3 units of error you have found for this function if you terminate your term with the zeroth order. For the f of 1, what you are going to find, to do that, you have an error of 3 units. Okay. Now, for the first approximation, this zeroth approximation, first approximation, take this one again, and you see that I am going to add h of f prime of xi, and this becomes h square or h square. Okay, so again substitute them, and your approximate value becomes minus 5, and actual value is minus 7, and plus 5, which is equal to minus 2 units is the error. It's come down now. Okay. Error from 3, it has come to minus 2 units. Again, second order Taylor series. Go to the, we have started with h prime. Now we are going to start with h double prime. And this is your order of error that you are going to find now. And of that, to do that, substitute them all the factors which are already available. You get minus 8. The error is 1 unit. Finally, you can take third order. One by step something has been done. h2 by 6, and this is triple prime. So 0th order, first order, second order, third order. Then substitute all the parameters, and you are getting back the exact results what has been found for x is equal to 1, that has been found by approximating this series. Series approximation has been done, and we find around that thing. Now, if you go beyond that, again you'll get the same values. Minus 1, because f3 primes, f4 prime equal to 0, therefore the term automatically goes, that is enough to stop with this. Okay, which is exact value of f of x. This example demonstrates that if given function is a polynomial of third degree, then it is third order Taylor series approximation is the exact result. It is true because when you go for a fourth order, you have a derivative of 4 that goes to 0, therefore all other terms goes to 0. Fifth term, sixth term, seventh, everything will be the derivative of that. Because the derivative is available only for the polynomials of the orders. Okay. Beyond that, you have a constant. The constant, when you take a derivative, that goes to 0. Okay. So this is clear for all of you. When you make a series approximation, you can see that when you are not reaching a proper derivative terms or number of terms, then you may end up with the errors. And that error, what I'm trying, that value, if you start using it in somewhere in the iterative form, then the error will blow up. Actual function will be suppressed by the process. That's what the point is going to happen. Okay, is it clear?
Yes, sir.
Yeah, I hope this is clear for all of you. This is what the methodology that is being followed when there is a polynomials with the Taylor series. So if I have x power 5, then what I supposed to do? Instead of x power x3, x cube, instead of x cube, if I have x power 5, then what do I supposed to do? I go up to up to fifth order. If there is x power 7, then I have to go up to seventh order. That's what the meaning of that. Okay. Let's try to look at this problem now. Series of any given function. Series of x, x0, around x0, up to 5 terms I have given. This is what the expansion that you have. It is identical to what has been given in this. This is the form which he has given, of course, with the 3 orders and generalized thing which is available in the text that can be referred for number of terms. I can go ahead any number of terms which I like depending on the usage, depending on the purpose. So you can start from 1, 2, 3, 4 like that. One by one also if you want, you can write. So once I know that, I will substitute that x minus x0, which is equal to h, which is already available in every term. Is it not? I have x minus x0 here in the series. Substitute them. Okay, I have taken up to 3. And this is what actual expression that you have, which is similar to what we have seen. We have the first case f of 0, then first derivative part f prime of 0, f double prime of 0, double prime of 0 that we have. We have taken all the terms here. And I can go ahead with this because this is a generalized function for any of f of x. Therefore, there is not a problem. I can just change some other function if you want. Put it over here and then check till what term that you have to proceed. That can be right here and get the expressions. Okay, so now what is to be done? This series is correct now, which just put it in a normal form and replace x minus x0 by h, which is the interval over which I'm going to do it. And then x0 in this happens to be 0. I'm just substituting. Of course, in every case, this will be at 0. Your derivative of all the higher order derivative and derivatives at x0 equal to 0. That's what we are going to finding out. And that will be multiplied by with this x h corresponding is in either 3 means the third order. Third order means 3 h for 3. Second order means h square. First order means h. And this will be factorial. Okay, this is the factorial. That's what it means. Probably if you wanted to see that factorial form explicitly, you can see here by putting it in the 13 terms. You can see here, this is the factorial which comes from. Correct? The denominator, you can see the factorials. Okay. This is all the factorials. So now I'm just taking it, limiting to up to 3. Fine. Okay, so now I take this. Whatever has been found that I am taking it here and replacing with the Taylor series n minus n underscore defining this, and then can be changed because already I found all of them. And it automatically evaluates the f of 0, it evaluates, f prime of 0 is evaluates, f double prime of 0 it evaluates because for that function, f of 3 also is evaluating here. And that results can be tabulated. Table here. You can see this is the number when n equal to 1. So you can see the error what has been found. Okay, minus 7 minus of that is going to be. No, you can see the error here. Something wrong. You're not getting this one. Because this should be exported now before I do that. Expand this. Now you do it. Now you'll get the results. The result is minus 2, 1, and 0, which has been shown here. The error for first thing is with the 0th order. Of course, I have not taken the 0th order. If you want, you can take it also. Well, that is it. N starting from 1. So I have to start from 0. Okay. 0, 3, up to 3. So first error is 3. Is that right? Or 3 units of error that has not been given the text. They have followed the procedure. I found 3 units of error. Error is 3 units. Second one is minus 2. Third one is 1 unit. Then afterwards comes 0. That is the result which we have here. That is being done with the 1, 9. You see how much we have to struggle here. but you have to understand these things. Okay, you should know how this has been arrived and how that is being implemented here. So your job will be very simple. If you learn and understand this, implement through the Mathematica. And Mathematica implementation is just by one line, this is taking care of. So, once you do this, I can just change any function. Make sure that what is your x0 and number of n, change it. You get it. Okay, that's the beauty. So you have an answer here with the generalized form making a replacement with the specific function what has been here. And he is already in the textbook, he has given the generalized form that he is trying to evaluate for every one of the term by term, starting from 0th order, first order, second order, third order, and he is trying to find out the actual value after evaluating with this function, and then the difference has been shown. So now you find when you start with the 0th order, your error is 3 units. When I go to the first order, the error is -2, which is about, again, there is an error of huge error is involved in your calculations. And when you go to the 0 first, second order is 1, and then the third order is 0. This is an exact result. Okay, I think is it fine for all of you? Are you able to get some clear picture about how that error by using approximation? See, this approximation has been done, which we have seen in for exponential function yesterday also. Okay, is it clear? Hopefully.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
And you will really enjoy when you start doing this one and take the textbook and look for the other problems. Just try to do here what is the function and what is the x0. Okay, x0 of course is always 0, but make sure what is your h value. In this case happens to be 1. Check the problem what is given in the exercise or a problem section. Check out, put it here. Make sure that this thing has been emerging properly. Okay, let's take the other example what is given. It's a little more involved, and the number of steps and to be calculated are a little more. But again, no, it is just same expression what I have here. Okay, so what has been done here, I just replace sine by sine x. That's all. Same thing. Only the x minus x0 is pi by 6, and x0 is pi by 6 again. So, and I have a number what is given in the textbook that can be produced. And such an easy thing that never happens unless you have a software of this type. Okay, so maybe you can, I hope I have the textbook of the, what is that? Spider series, I just checked whether I have that book here now, the soft copy. Yes, ASCII is here. And this is the book I have. So we can do all this. And this is what has been given, and say one of the this is what is error in approximation. This is general expression he has given it, that he has used it for this problem. Okay, this is what the result which I have taken, and that has been reproduced and confirmed. Again, this is the problem he has given it, and you can see this table what he has given here. That can be copied there for your reference. It's available here. You should be confident enough to produce this result without any ambiguity. When you look at this, you should get a feel. Yes, I have learned this mathematics. I should be in a position to reproduce these results without any hesitation. That should happen. That's how you should get a confidence. Okay, let's start with this. F of x is sin x. Construct the Taylor series approximations of orders 0 to 7 at x equal to pi by 3. State their absolute errors. Okay. Okay, let's take. He has taken x I equal to pi by 6, and x of I plus 1 is pi by 3. So this is assumed now. Therefore, you will get a H value. You follow? This, let us assume that this is equal to x of I plus 1 is pi by 3, xi equal to pi by 6. Therefore, h is equal to pi by 3 minus, which means you have the x plus 1, x of x plus 1, x plus x of I plus 1, x of I. That is your h, which is pi by 6. So xi is pi by 6, h is also pi by 6. It's not 0, please note. It's a pi by 6. You can see that it's not a substitution. Goes to the pi by 6. So f of pi by 3, which means function is sine of x, pi by 3 value. If I substitute sine of pi by 3, I will get a number. Is it not? That number, how long we should be using the series approximately, so that we will reproduce the value of the f of pi by 3 in the series approximation. Up to taking a term, you have to go start from 0 to 7 orders. So now this is what we have to do now. 7th order is taken, and this is the error component here. So replace this f by sine of x. Now you can calculate all the numbers here. So numerically one can evaluate, and then you can see the 0th order, first order. Okay, one by one that can be generated. If you start do that, these are the numbers that you will be getting it. Finally, it gets converges to this 7, up to 7, and the error is already, you have a decimal of 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 decimals. Accuracy have reached here by 7 orders. So now what I'm going to do now? Well, it's a simple job. The previously whatever the problem which I used, I just taken here, right? Replace sine x function by sine x. X0 and same thing is there and normal. X minus x0 is pi by 6, which I have found. X0 is pi by 6. If I do that, I have this result. Okay, yeah, 7 I am finding out. And this is what your number form integers, and I can find out the real numbers. So I just enter here the sign that has been done, and this is what the number which I have, and I am going to use the percentage, take the previous result, put it in a numerical form. Say here whatever has been given, 8.86025 is already available. Okay, now you can table it. ABS value, this is a ABS absolute error. Find out the actual value minus the computational with the series approximation for n equal to starting from 0 to 7. Look at this numbers. Look at the number which is B has given. Do you get that numbers? Let's look at the first one. 0.5. Then 0.366025. That was the absolute error here. This is what the result is. Okay, you can number of digits you can decide, put it in a padded form, and all these things that you have already learned that can be done. Put it in this exactly this table form. Also you can write it. Order of approximation, write it here. This you can also write it on the top, absolute error, and put it like this, given enough spacing. All these things automatically one can do it. This I have not done it, that you already learned that, you can use them also. So it is sure, 100% sure, and it is still much better than what has been given here. And you can improve your accuracy by any number of digits that you like. This is limited, but we are not use that. That command also one can learn. Probably I will explain afterwards how to accuracy goal can be improved, and that improvements can reflect in terms of the number of decimals that you want. I can go up to here 15 digits, 25 digits, 70 digits, 100 digits accuracy. If you want it, you can have it. Possible to find the results. But for the time being, it's enough to know that this is possible for us to get the result. But what is important is this is one line result. That's all. We have put in a table that is being generated here. We don't have to struggle with this. Of course, as I said, you should know what is the theorem or theory that goes into that. That should be understandable. Then use it appropriately, understand it, and then put it in a proper mathematical code. So this is how the approximations that will be handled with the mathematical. Okay. So you want, as you said, if you want to add a padded form, I can decide the number of digits. Then you can write, or you can put it in a scientific form also possible. Let's see whether it's up. Scientific. Scientific form. Writing, yeah, exactly. This is what your errors that you have. The same numbers, just input in a scientific. So you already come to 10 to the minus 8. Okay, that's fine. If you approximate it to be 7.7 with 10 to the minus 8. That is being given here. Okay, I think this, I do not know this book. Is it following the some Fortran?
Yeah,
It is
sir,
a
we are
Fortran.
following this book,
You are
Shastri.
following the book, and it's also Fortran based, no numbers.
Yeah,
Or he is using some other.
we are using Fortran.
Yeah, and he must have also mentioned that the Fortran he must be using it, is it not? I hope so. That this.
Yes, sir. It seems like.
Yeah, it's basically a Fortran based book. Then you have to define what you call the double precision results if you want. All variables should be defined as a double precision, and then do the computation, get the double precision accuracy. Here, no such things is required. Not only that, it is much efficient. See, this is what we say. Mathematica has already so much of knowledge, which it has a lot of knowledge already that we are exposing. What is that knowledge it has? This is what we are trying to say. This is the knowledge it already has. Okay, is it not? Here is for a given function which we have written here in this previous problem. It has already for any given function, this information is already available. This knowledge is already available. That we are exploring it, and we can see that you should have an understanding about how to get this expression. Do they make sense? And this is the Taylor series, and what is the origin for the that and all you have to understand. Then you try to see that it's being implemented through such statements, and you really feel so comfortable, and we are sure. Concrete. See, even books sometimes they give an error. There must be some printing mistakes, or there may be an error in their results. But this will not give a wrong result unless you make some mistakes. Okay? Evaluate precisely all the numbers and it gives the results. For example, if you try to do with the calculator, you know how much time it's going to take. It takes a hell of a lot of time, and I know how many mistakes that will enter here when they're trying to do that. But you should have a clear-cut picture about what is really happening with respect to these substitutions and simplification. That should be produced. If you make any small mistake here, it's out. You will never see these numbers. Okay, therefore you have to have a clear-cut picture about what you are trying. By the process, by producing these results, you are confident, yes, you have understood the problem, and you are sure that any given problem in the exercise, you will take it out, and you can really produce the results what has been given there without any hesitation. You can start and work out. Okay, this is what the message I wanted to give to you, and probably I'll spend some more time about all these various types of errors, which will be very much useful for any experimental purpose or for a theoretical purpose. It has the first chapter gives about 6 to 7 theorems. They're familiar. Only thing we have to read them, understand them. This is what the theorem says. Mathematical preliminaries, theorem 1, theorem 2, theorem 3, theorem 4, these are all familiar. There's nothing great here. 5, 6, 7, 8. See, this and this are very easily connected. Okay, this is called Maclaurin expansion, and this is a Taylor expansion. And if you have multiple variables, what to do? That also has been given. There is another series, several functions, several variables. With that, he starts introducing these errors and their computation. So when you go through these theorems also, you should have a understanding, yes, how these expressions should have been arrived here. And these are the expressions which are going to handle afterwards. Okay, that is what the thing that's going to happen here. So these numbers and errors, all this absolutely, there are various types of error here described, all these things. We will try to look into few of them and work out some of the simple exercises, try to understand them and make sure that these errors are understandable for us. And when we start using any of these studies, that can see, for example, if you have a type of this, how to find out the errors. Find the value of this, where A, you can see there are errors involved. Okay, and the relative error in these results. There should not be any difficulty in finding out this. Okay, so easy to do it. Okay. You see our paper, the first one or two papers which you published, that we did all this kind of a computation in the measured experimental data to provide the errors clearly, and those error methods also published along with that. So it's all part of your experiment and the theoretical. When you do the theoretical curve fitting procedures can produce some errors. That error also should be found and should be shown. So measurement errors, computational errors, all should be shown, and what is the actual number with the plus or minus that number. But there are, if your measurements are too good, then your error will fall within your data size, what you are putting it as a dot. So at that time, you don't have to worry about giving the magnitude of the errors. So if your measurement systems are good, precise, then you don't have to worry about providing the errors there, because the error is already too small. That's not necessary to consider at all. But there are many situations you need to provide the error magnitude. It's really important. Okay, and here is the C. When you approximate the series now, you can see how serious error is. Suppose if you start with the second order, the first approximation, you go to the second order by Taylor series, then there's going to be big error for this equation. So therefore, it should be considered properly, then taken the numbers appropriately. Okay, so this is what the thing. Then I just send this, and probably you can look into this Shastri book. Any problem similar to this given, you should be in a position to work it out. All right. Hopefully, seeing some exercise there is similar to that. Yeah, there are exercises. Exponential 0 is given exponential already. See, find the number terms above series such that their sum gives the value of E correct to 5 decimal place. This exercise which you already done. Compute the value of ln of 3 correct to 5 decimal place. Again, f of x, replace cos x at x is equal to pi by 3. So the derivatives at x by 4. This is the other series. Okay, x in radians. Use the series, compute the values of sine of 25 degree and accuracy of 0.00. Absolutely no problem for these problems. All problems that can be attempted and you can produce it. This, what you have is that some 13, 12 problems can be done as a exercise, and that should be available, should make it available in mathematical problem, Shastri book, chapter 1. First problem, second problem, third problem, fourth problem, like 13 problems. You should knock it out and show the results. That should be the thing that should happen after that. Okay. It's not a problem at all. I'm sure it can be done. It should be, and it can be done. Okay. Right, we'll go to the learning some more Mathematica course, as I said, on the, well, come back to this. Close it. Go to this. Let's lesson 9, and we have, yeah, for mathematical manipulate. This is what I was telling to say. I said that manipulate is something interesting, and after doing this, probably in the next class, we'll start do the numerical limit. For example, bisection. It has been taught already in the class now. Bisection numerical method already taught for solving the transcendental equation or any equations. I hope that you might have learned. Has it been done or not? Okay. I'll explain some arguments in it. So we'll try to see manipulate how it can be exploited in the Mathematica. Now start from the first one, which is simplest known thing in terms of. So manipulate sine of frequency into x. X is 0 to 2 pi. Frequency varying 1 to 5. What does it mean? If I plot this one for a range of x for a frequency equal to 1, I will get this out. Okay, that's what it means. Suppose I wanted to see when a frequency becomes 2, 3, 4, 5, and I want to repeat back and forth. I wanted to see that results. So how do I do that? This option is given. Manipulate. This manipulate has so much of option. I can go in steps of 1. 1 point in fact fractions goes 4, okay, 8, we are come to 2, which means I have a 2 waves here. Similarly, 2.2, I can go to 3.2. So this can be repeated again and again, and this is what the manipulation is doing now. And since it is given 1 to 5, in between values also it can be, you can see the all possible values that of the frequency that is available, and this can be taken continuously by changing the frequency value. This is what the wave that is being generated with a frequency which is varying from 1 to 5. See, note down that we are keeping this cycle, x is 1 cycle. At number of cycles, we have made it as a 5. So therefore, when it is taken the unit 1 cycle, by the time it completes, I get the 1 full wave. Okay, I'm getting the full 1 wave for the value of frequency 1, which means here is number 1 has been taken automatically. Sin x, this number has been taken by this manipulative statement, which is available here. Then x is varying from 0 to 2 pi. Next time what it does, it takes the value 2, then it is being evaluated for 0 to 2 pi, which means twice just 2 pi which is available. Therefore, you find there is going to be a 2 waves by the time you reach here to 2. Okay? Then do it for 3 waves of same. Which means I already reached frequency 3. Go ahead with the 4th one. I want to see that, but also can be seen. Then this is the 5th one. Now the whole thing can be done like this. This is being implemented. Now, what are the options that are? I can decrease and increase, slow down, this is faster. See, I'm slowing down now. Animation is slow. Manipulation is equivalent to animation now, it's slowing. If you want to make it faster, you click it here. Much faster. Okay, this is all the 4. Minus, reduction. This is, if you wanted to pass it, you can pass, and play means it will play. Then it is going to the first direction, step forward, step backward. Then this is the faster and slower. And there is an option here also, you can go and come back. When you're coming back also, it will animate. Right? Goes and completes 5 cycle, and again start from 5th cycle and coming back up to cycle 1. So this is the domain plate contains how many of the, now you can see how many mathematical codes that are being grouped here. You can see sine function is one, in which there is a product of the frequency into x, which is an argument for the sine. So that is being evaluated, and in which the sine is varying x 0 to 2 pi, which we have put it in the what? In the list. Okay, that list is being operated. When you have a plot and sine, if I add here, you just see what's happening. What will happen now? What would you expect? What is happening now? What's happening? Why? It seems to be everything right now. X incremented by 0.1 steps. But it's not giving. So therefore, whenever you use a plot, okay, you should have the initial value and the end value. No increments allowed. Because depending on the functions, it takes automatically number of points required from 2 pi to 0 that we take, and it plots this curve. And also point, number of point, plot point option is also available. I don't know. Plot points, well, I got to different, plot points available. Plot points. Okay, I can have a 10 points being connected. Suppose I take only 2 points. That will be 3. Again, in between has take 3 only given, but in between data has been considered and it has been generated here. So therefore, plot points will be automatically mathematically takes. 1 point doesn't plot. They have a 2 plot, that interpolation has been done with these 2 points and it has been given. So even though you ask for a number of plot points 2, it gives the full range. If I make the number of points on something like 100, well, it's not a problem at all. Exactly, that can be done. So depending on the function, the number of points that is needed, that takes care automatically by the plot statement. Therefore, increment is not allowed. If you wanted to use an increment, you make a table of that data with that increment, make a list plot. That can be, maybe I can want to show here now, copy, see what's happening now. Copy. Paste it over here. And I wanted to make a table showing 0.5, which means I have to have a table. Table what? I want to have a list, which is X is a variable with the frequency, and this is a list that is being taken, and the plot must be on the list. Okay, list plot table, and I need to have another closing bracket because I opened the bracket here. That should be closed here. And what about this list plot? Is being closed here properly? This is, well, this should be plot. List plot should be made. Therefore, one more bracket will be there. Okay. Now, this is what your list plot is. See the dot points? I have not joined them. Okay. If you want, you can join them. Then you have a frequency 1,5, and the data points, if suppose if I wanted to make it as an increment, I'll write it as an increment. Okay. I'll write it as a INCR, increment. That increment can be made as a manipulative variable. How do I increment? INCER, that any name you can give it. Increment. Starting from, so let me take 0.5 to up to 0.1 in steps of, let me take minus 0.1. I'm decreasing by the factor because I'm starting from 0.1 and or you can make it other way also, doesn't matter. So if you make it other way, you have to give this 0.1 and this must be 0.5 and remove this minus starting from point, which means number of data with 0.1 and then it goes down to this number what I have given. Then close it. So increment is a variable here. Previously you just took a 0.5 that I have made it as a variable here. That variable is manipulated here. If I do the two of them, then I find that it's going to be another thing that's being created here. Okay. Okay. This now 0.1. And when I increase this, the number of points will be going down. Okay, and layer entered with this. Okay, so this is also up. So anything that is available here also make it as an optional variable if necessary. That can also be used. And this will also a variable here. And if you look at it, this is what the result that you will find. Okay, so I added one more along with this manipulation. So that's how it's being done. So this both are available as a variables. And this information by clicking here, if I look at plus, you won't see the options that is needed, options that are available. For example, plus this play, minus and plus, and increase, decrease, and the arrow all will be forward and backward. Also getting closed here. Then open it when you want, whenever you want, in that way. So this would be first simplest possible. Manipulate. I wanted to check. I wanted to 5, 1, minus 1. As you can see, the number of data points getting added up. Really field animations now. Manipulation consequence can be same. And this is only one wave. I am going to increase the number of waves. Okay? So I'll fix it here, do the variation. Okay. So this same thing, instead of continuous line animation, becomes a dot. Okay. Number of dots now is fixed is more. And that number of dots for a one wave is converted to the 5 waves. So therefore that's become, so when the number of waves increasing, that data will be get separated. You can see here. Is that right? I hope you are able to understand what I'm trying to say.
Yes,
To start with only one wave, number of data points will be more, but you are going to spread it over to the 5 waves, then the data points will be getting reduces. Right? If you wanted to have more number and equally, so correspondingly you have to make changes. And if I increment it, say, start from little more, if I wanted to have for entire range, okay, this is something which can be done, and it is available. And we can go ahead with this. You find this large number of data points, and that goes further again, even for the 5 different waves, almost continuous. Okay, so this is for the same animation, but we have made it in a different form. It's a list plot now, which means the list is being created for every one of the increments, for every one of the frequencies. Okay, that's what the result is. So this is the next type of. Now, you look at here, I am putting it in the left side picture. The frequency variation here, this much space is unnecessarily being occupied. So I wanted to see that just below that, the variation. I don't want that should be on the left side. So what do? I have an option available, which is what is the option? Control placement. I hope so. N. We have control placement. This is the control, and control type also available. Control placement now. Control placement, just put it top of the figure. This is what the now this from instead of left side, it is available here, and that is can be seen along this. That's an advantage. Now there is something here which is plus bookmark auto run. There's something is available. This we can click it here. These are the things that is possible with this. Okay, I'm just clicking by right click, keep it over there. Hide controls, paste snapshots, add to bookmarks, initial setting, paste bookmarks, animate the bookmarks, auto run. These are all the options that are available for this manipulate. In addition to these things. Okay. It is very necessary, you use it, otherwise you can leave them and you can have this for yourself. Okay. And you, whenever it's away, if you wanted to explore them, you just click it and try to see what is the thing that are happening. And correspondingly go ahead. So now suppose you wanted to have it in the bottom. That's available in the bottom now. Okay. So this is option, which is index bottom. So whatever you like it, you can present it. Keep it at the top or the bottom, and then left or right or center. All these options are available under the control placements. So this can be closed now. And this, if you wanted to add here. In addition to that, there are options for the plots. So many options are there that you can add them. When you add it, it should be within this plot. You can see. Don't come to this point and you will have an error. Because this is meant for manipulate, not for the plot. So if I write here plot style, okay, and if you ask for it, then it's going to be an error. That should be corrected. So plot style is only within the plot, within this square bracket you have to, because the plot closes by this square bracket, and then the manipulate closes with this. Okay, I cannot have a control placement inside also. That's not also acceptable. This is meant for the manipulate, not for the plots. So therefore, bracket opening, closing, whatever you wanted to have it, that should be completed only within that square bracket. If you mix it up, then it's going to be an error. That error will be indicated. You should be in a position to identify, then correct it. Similarly, here you have a list plot. There are options, so you can add all these options, whatever you like. Then make it, because point size can be changed. It can be any other symbol you like. Okay, colors can be changed. Different colors for the same curve, I can make it. All options that are available that can be explored, so that you have a better presentation of your curves, whatever you wanted to present it. So now this is again manipulate. Well, you can see here the difference. Frequency I have written here. That is what your manipulative variable. Suppose if I write like f into x, well, there is no problem at all. You get it. The same results as what has been done. But instead of frequency, I have a f. Okay. So now I don't want to change anything here. But in the control placement, I wanted to have a frequency. Through the control placement, is it something can be done so that instead of f as a variable, I wanted to see as a frequency. How do I do that? Well, you can see here this sign frequency 1 to 5 and phase. There are two variables that is added. This is phase. I'm sorry, frequency. This is the phase vector 1 to 10. The phase is added. You can see plus phase. Okay, which means it will push this instead of 0, it will be somewhere else. X equal to 0, it's finite value. That will be decided by this phase. Two variables that are varying now. Okay. Now I will come back to that. The frequencies. What I said is, if it is f is given, I wanted to have that in the through the so-called the controls, manipulate controls can also be. You can see here, I have written here, F is a frequency, but I have not written as a frequency. F is a variable, but when I use the manipulative statement, I added this. So that will be appearing here. I don't have to add here. That's the point which I wanted to map. We will come back to that after some time. Meantime, we will proceed further and see what are the other things that can be done. So if as I said, you can have more than one variable. It has been done like increment. Here it is a phase. So again with the phase, you can animate it and then see what is happening. This phase, change the phase. This can be changed and keep it the frequency 5 and make a phase change. And phase change can pull the whole thing towards the left because phase is changing from 1 to 10. Every time phase is different. But this whole range of 5 waves are available because we have taken frequency up to 5. Okay. So this is another way adding the within the function more than one variable to manipulate. That's what can happen. Now I make it as a plot function frequency star x plus phase. This function need not be a single one. It can have a multiple functions. Manipulate a phase and a frequency. In addition to that, I will add first time sine, second time cosine, third time tan function. The function goes and sits there. Sine will be sitting here. Cosine will be there here. If I select that, tan will be there. Each time it selects one of them. You can see this is what you assign for with the phase. This is cosine. This is the tan. And all these things, I have animation for with respect to frequency and the phase. This is the tan function with an animation. Okay. And I can make it to cos. You can make it to sine. So, see, all at a time. One by one, you can really take it. See that it goes one by one. You can see the functions and see their animations. So, initially what we are given only one function, and that function itself we made it as a variable here, and we are just going one by one. I can add secant, cosecant, and cot. Well, you can do that. It's not a problem at all. You just add 3 more functions, inverse functions of that. That's also possible. That's what's being done here. Next step. Okay, function, add more than that of that. And you can see that has not been seen. It's there here in the 3 of them. But here you can see the window as an option that is listed here. Functions are listed here. Okay, so you can see there's nothing specific has been given because when the number of things goes more, then instead of writing in this form, okay, write it in this form where you can select the function. Click it over there and you will see it. So now you can select this secant function and animate it with the frequency, and this is what you have. And I can select now starting from secant part function. Very nice to see all the functions. And you can see with the same manipulates. What is the thing? This is being done with the 2 variables plus that 2 variable has been extended simultaneously one by one. This simultaneously these 2 on the sine, cosine, tan, cosecant, secant part. Okay, so this is the thing that has been done, and what is this? Again repeating the same thing. Looks no difference. Yeah. Okay. It's the same as what has been given here. I don't see this and this. But here is another option. Control type, radio button bar. Okay. Okay, I just enter and execute it. This is sine, because time, second, and this can be eliminated one by one. So control type. So we have seen this. Now control type, and what is it? We have seen that to keep it left and right. Control placement. This is control type. Okay. This is control type. And if I wanted to add that, suppose I wanted to add control placement. Control placement on top of this. And I see that's also on top of it. Then you have a radio button bar which is available and done. Then you can select the function you like. Okay. So now you can see this is all the additional things one by one can add. See, it is not only meant for the plotting. We have a function. Expand a plus b whole power n. N is this. I can vary this. Okay. Anything that you give it, the manipulate, the variable available can be done. For example, this is expand close here. A plus b. N is varying from 2 to 10 in steps of 1. And execute already has been executed now. Now, if you look at the value of n, it's equal to 2. It's got ready. Now, add cubic. Both are done. So, being animated, you can go up to 100 or you want. Starting from here, and you will see the list what's going to happen. Your 100th polynomial, e power 100 of numbers. This is the binomial idea is being used here, and that is what. Okay. This is being manipulated here. Expand anything that has been available with the variable like this. It need not be even expressions. Even the sound, audios, pictures, then multiple graphs. Okay. Or there will be 5 to 6 types of graphs that common variables are there. Put them and then show it to the lesson. Like algebra, yes. Next is you have 2 variables for plotting, which means I need to have a ready plot. Because these are f of x and y is the z axis. That is sine of a x y is your z axis. X and y are these 2. Hello? This is like a surface plot. Okay. Okay. Surface plot. Time now, I think continuing so we can see when I animate it, I don't see the meshes on this surface. Okay. So the art. What are we supposed to do to get the performance goal, quality? I do that, same function will be appearing like this. That's nice to see here when you animate. That's not possible when you do it here. Same thing if you try here, looks like the art. So I have this performance goal and the quality. You can start here and learn further and another half an hour or 45 minutes next class. Then pass on to probably the next numerical methods. Okay. Anything, any questions, any clarifications? Yes.
So after practicing this, we will ask questions, sir.
After going through them. Yeah,
Yeah, sir.
that's good. Okay, that's fine. Go through them and spend some time and use your own functions which you like or some of the function which is available in physics. Plot them. Then if you have difficulties or questions, if you have, then you can ask for it. Okay, Shahin, shall we close down now?
Sir went to meet VC.
Okay, that's right. We'll close it now. We'll meet in the tomorrow's class. Shall I close down now?
Sir,
Yeah. Yes.
next day you are discussing bisection method, sir.
Tomorrow, yes, bisection method I'm going to start.
Okay, sir.
That's right. We can start that because bisection will start because numerical method should be focused on a little more. Bisection, Newton-Raphson, and then regular Fauci. There are so many methods that are available, and then we'll go to the one by one about the integrations, Simpson rule, all rules and other things, integration, differentiation, curve fitting. There are many things still we have to learn. We have another 12 classes are there, 11, 12 classes. We can cover it, all of them. Okay. Fine. I'll close it now. We'll meet tomorrow.
Okay, sir.
Fine. Thank you.
Okay, thank you, sir.
Meera. Hello, Meera.